Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. It's so cool to be in this building, man. I have to say, this is like a big deal for me. I'm a big SNL junkie.
Fantastic.
And,
well, this is the place to be.
I have to ask you a question.
Go for it.
So Will Ferrell was hosting this weekend, as
Yes.
you know. So I was reminded of a sketch that for SNL fans is sort of hallowed ground for just like the best stupid sketch of all time. I recently watched it and I realized, oh my God, a young Seth Meyers is right in the front row. And I want to know if you have the same affection for Gus Chiggins and
Old
Old
Prospector, yeah.
as I do and many other people.
Yes, so
I
Old
just want to know what that was
Prospector.
like.
Well, it was actually because they just put it on YouTube. It was my third week at the show.
That's amazing.
And it was a really emotional week at the show because someone had sent anthrax to the building, and so
Right, 'cause
everybody.
Jesus.
It was like the right after. It was 2001, so it was a crazy time, and it was so. That sketch was so dumb.
So it nosedives down the dumb
knows that-
rabbit
and,
hole real easy.
And Will makes choices that no other performer, and he does that all the time. But
Right.
he takes so many pauses.
Oh, you could see all of you guys are like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had this moment of, oh my God, if I laugh, they're gonna fire me. And then I looked around at like Jimmy
Everybody
Fallon and
else is-
Horatio. I'm like, well, they're still here, so I'm fine.
But
Yeah.
in that moment, do you know that it's like, this is something that people are going to like, or you're like, oh
But
my
the crazy
God.
thing was it got cut. It
got
was
cut, I
only
know.
addressed. So that was the thing is I thought, oh, this is the greatest thing that ever happened. And then I thought, oh, great things get cut all the time. I'm just new here. And then they really don't. That was
That was it. That was
most
one.
things that get cut
That's
are
so
like,
great.
yeah, that was the right thing to get cut.
If you don't know it, go check out the Old
Old
Prospector.
Prospector.
sketch. It is
Now available on
delightfully
YouTube.
stupid. It's amazing.
We ran into each other backstage at the Golden Globes.
yeah, you did a great job. by
Thank
the
you
way,
very
Bravo.
much. But I was, thank you. We had an after party, and someone told me you were on your way. I left because my wife was pregnant, but you did make it in, but it was not easy.
Oh, I could not get into your party. No, they don't.
but you were on the list.
Yeah, that's what they tell me.
yeah.
It would have been nice at the time. No, we got in eventually. In fact, my fiance and I, we took a guy that we met that we thought we were being nice, being like, tell you what, we're on the list. We'll take you to the party. He's like, okay, let me get the Uber. So we're like, riding high, being like, yeah, we'll show this guy a good time. We're Hollywood folks. And we get there and they're like, no. And then go figure, this guy goes, hey, I know that guy. And then he walked us in. So
Oh, really?
always take the guy you think isn't allowed at the party.
Did you give him money for the Uber, I hope?
No. I took that free ride for
We were talking backstage. The first 2 episodes of the show is fantastic. You play not a serial killer, I guess. What is it?
I guess the terminology is spree killer. I'm not
Spree
a
killer.
licensed criminologist, but it's a
so
little different.
Andrew Cunanan, who killed Gianni Versace and 4 other men in the course of a very. What is it like getting in the head of someone like that? Are you the kind of actor who does that, or are you just kind of?
Yes and no. I mean, look, I'm an actor, so you obviously have to act the part, so to speak. But as far as putting your head in that space, I think people tend to forget that people's lives are much greater than the worst things they've ever done. And while obviously what he did is deplorable and horrible and still has echoes of tragedy 20 years later, this is a bizarre comparison, but it'd be like if I met you at a bar on a bad night for you,
Yeah.
and then I told all my friends, Seth Meyers is a jerk,
Yeah.
even though that's really just one
Because the
moment of
most
your life.
I ever killed in one night was 3.
It was 3, and that's like, who's counting?
Yeah.
That's a bizarre comparison. But what I'm saying is, like,
Right.
we all have. You have to kind of count the primary colors between you and another person. So I don't approach it as, oh, this guy killed
Well,
people.
you also play him because he was, a liar, fabulous about his own life to some
Yeah.
degree. But you have to bring a lot of charm and charisma to this character who obviously we are seeing, we're
Right.
kind of zoned into this awful time.
He was a famously likable guy most early in his life. When I was saying, we don't know somebody from the worst things I've ever done, I've met so many people that met him throughout his life that really were quite fond of him, and he was famously affable. And I met somebody came up to me. I was in Vegas. I was at a concert, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, "You have to meet my wife. She went to high school with Andrew," and she came up to me, and she's talking about like a teenager,
Yeah.
like a 15, 16-year-old kid, and she's like, "I just want to let you know that when I met Andrew, he was such a good friend to me. He was somebody you could count on." And I was heartbroken. And that's when you go, okay, we're not playing a killer, we're playing a person who has gone down this destructive path, and how does something so promising become something so horrible? And that's kind of where you.
Well, you do a
point of entry.
fantastic job with it. I can't wait to see the rest of it because it's not one of those shows where you tune in and you're like, oh, that's a psycho killer. Like you do a great job of bringing a lot of the layers to it. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is so cool.
I'm so glad you didn't have trouble at the door tonight.
Yeah, they let me in this time.
Darren Criss, everyone.